Hey ladies, so I'm on my webcam. I got asked to do this would you rather tag that was started by ItsMyTurnNow85. And I am so sorry if I'm like not, I don't know, not making great eye contact or whatever, because I'm on my webcam and I'm still getting used to that thing. So let's start with that. Number one, if you hear a lot of noises and stuff, it's my dog in the background that's playing. Number one is, would you rather have a fridge constantly stocked with your favorite food and drink, or a car that never broke down or ran out of gas? Where I am, gas is $3.79 right now, and it goes up and down a little bit, but usually more up. And I have had cars break down on me before. I've actually ran out of gas while driving once because my gas gauge was broken, and yeah, it was really horrible. I would never want that to happen again. It sucked. I was on the freeway. It was actually really scary. So I would rather have a car that never ran out of gas and never broke down, and also because a lot of my favorite foods just are not good for me, and I am trying to lose weight, which we'll get to that in another video, but that would not help. Number two is, would you rather be forced to watch The Sound of Music on repeat for 48 hours or drive cross country listening to Britney Spears on repeat? Assuming that I can't turn it down and I'm the one driving, so I actually have to be awake and therefore would be listening to Britney Spears, I would definitely say The Sound of Music. I also kind of enjoy The Sound of Music, and I don't know, I feel like when I watch a movie more than once, I can kind of go crazy and just like totally act it out. I don't know if any of you have seen P.S. I Love You. After her husband dies, and oh, I'm sorry if you guys haven't seen it, that's kind of what the movie is about, so sorry if that was a spoiler for you. But after her husband dies, she's like walking around her apartment in his old shirt and like singing along and acting along to all these crazy old movies where people are depressed, and that would totally be me. Oh my god. Okay, I have to show you this if I can. We have this cat toy that it's like a base, like it's like a rectangle base and then a rope so they can scratch on it, and the dog just went and got it and it dropped and now he's gonna try and eat it, which I'm okay with because the cats actually don't use it. Oh, Huckleberry. Yeah, so yes, Sound of Music would definitely be my choice. Number three, would you rather have the ability to erase memories from your mind or from someone else's? I would say mine. And oh, you know what? That's really a hard one. I don't know, because a lot of people don't really sit there and to me and go, oh, do you remember that one time? I hardly ever get that, so I think I would go with mine because I am one of those people who will remember a situation and beat it to death. So like years later, I'll be thinking about something and remember that time in high school where, let's go with a really embarrassing one. I'll remember that time in 8th grade where I peed my pants in class, and I just would, some of those memories I would just really love to forget. And I mean, I remember a lot of stupid things too. Like, I'll say something that just didn't go over as funny as I thought it was going to, or I was a lot more mean than I meant to be. And I will just beat myself up over it forever whenever I remember it. Yeah, so I would definitely choose my own mind. Would you rather always be itchy or always feel like you need to pee? I would go with itchy because I hardly ever have to pee, like ever. So when I have to pee more than once in like a span of hours, I get so thoroughly annoyed. Whereas, I don't know, working with kids, I always feel like I'm sticky or itchy or some other feeling, so that's not a big deal. Would you rather have a really hairy back or really long, curly, and exposed nose hairs? Hair removal not an option. That is a good question. Nose hair is really disgusting, but so is back hair. You can cover up back hair, but at least you could you could do some funky things with the nose hair. I mean, you could like braid it and stuff. I think I would choose back hair just because I think long nose hair would get really itchy, and at least back hair, it's not like you would like roll over it in your sleep and be pulling pieces out. I don't know. I just imagine like rolling over in your sleep and your nose hair getting like caught under your arm and pulling on your nose. Okay, I'll stop that mental image. I'm sorry. Yeah, back hair. So, would you rather eat 5 boxes of fruit ring cereal? Fruit ring cereal. You're so cute. That's such an Australian thing. So Fruit Loops in one day or drink 21 cups of coffee in a day. I would definitely have to go with 5 boxes of fruit ring cereal because generally speaking, caffeine makes me super hyper. And I hate coffee. I hate the smell of it. I hate the taste of it. I get migraines really bad, and my doctor was like, oh, you should try coffee. That'll help. And yeah, that just makes it worse. It's horrible. I hate it. And on top of that, I was driving home from my dad's house one year. I took a trip over there. I was driving home, and I was just so tired that I took some of those caffeine pills. And the whole way home, I was not any less tired. There was no point that I was like, oh, cool, those totally worked. But as tired as I was and like nearly falling asleep, it was probably very dangerous for me to be driving home, but whatever. The whole time I was like freaking out. It felt like my skin was staying still, but the whole inside of me was going like this. Like my whole body was freaking out. I did not like that feeling. So yeah, I'd definitely say sugary cereal. Would you rather descend from a helicopter 1,500 feet up high using a rope ladder or using a parachute? 1,500 feet. Okay, let's think about this. 1,500 feet using a rope ladder or a parachute. Rope ladder, I'm assuming you're not like carabinered onto it. So you've got a huge risk of falling to your death with no parachute. And 1,500 feet going down a ladder, your legs are going to get so tired because the ladders in general are not something you want to go more than like 8-10 feet up on because your legs just get tired. And then on top of that, like it's moving because it's a rope ladder, and what if part of the rope breaks or detaches from the helicopter? Or parachute, where you have a parachute and a backup parachute. I would choose parachute because I would rather enjoy the scenery rather than freak out and die. Yeah. Would you rather be able to fly or become invisible? There was a time that I would have said become invisible, but that was mostly in high school. That was because I mostly hated high school. At this point, I would say be able to fly. Would you rather have a head twice the normal size or half the normal size? Jules and I talked about this. So there's a problem with both. We really like hats. I really, really love hats. The only one in my family who can wear them. Head twice the size, they don't really make hats for people with big heads. Like you have to get some special ordered hats for big head. So I think I would go with a tiny head because having a big head doesn't necessarily mean you have a big brain. And even if you had a big brain, it doesn't necessarily mean you're very smart. So I would say I'd go with a tiny head and have more hat options, which would be able to help cover it up. And number 10, would you rather have to turn around 3 times before sitting down or have to do a jiggle before walking through a doorway? I would definitely say do a jiggle. And that's mostly because I could play it off and just be like, hey, I'm here, rather than turning around 3 times and people being like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. And since I'm around kids all day, like me walking through a doorway and dancing is not anything that anybody would be particularly like, what the hell over. But OCD style turning around before I'm sitting down 3 times, yeah, I'd rather not explain that. So anyway, those are my answers. I have a couple other updates to make. I'm sorry if I've been like low or high or anything like that, because I was on another window. Yeah, I have a couple other updates to make. I don't know if I'm going to make those on my actual video camera or just on the webcam. So I will talk to you ladies later, and I hope you're all having a great night. Bye. Sorry. I couldn't find the stop button.